Welcome, comrades, and I am delighted to be able to tell you about Communist University 2024. Communist University is really quite unlike any of the other Marxist summer schools that you'll see. We don't have, for example, chairs looking for hand-picked participants. It is a genuinely open discussion. You also won't find contributions from the floor limited to 2 minutes. You're able to have a full and frank discussion about the subjects that are available at Communist University, of which there are a great number. We often have experts in the field. So Ben Lewis, for example, talking about Wilhelm Liebknecht and August Bebel on the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 71. From radical anthropology, Chris Knight will be giving a talk on theories of language. How did we learn to speak? This is a crucial factor in, for example, Marx and Engels' discussion of original communism, sometimes translated badly as primitive communism.
I'm doing two sessions this week, this year's Communist University, the first of which is on Lenin's imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism. It's an extraordinarily current issue precisely because we're in the midst of two imperialist wars. On the one hand, the United States is unambiguous war of aggression in Ukraine, starting with its Euromaidan coup color revolution operation in 2014. At the same time, the Israeli state takes the Gaza prison break of October the 7th last year as an excuse for a struggle to create a new Nakba. In this situation, how leftists relate to the question of imperialism is important. And Lenin's work is important to us, but also definitely not the end of story. The second I'm concerned with is on the People's Front and revolutionary strategy. That's triggered by the Nouveau Front Populaire in France and the widespread, way we want a Nouveau Front Populaire for ourselves, just as in many fads and fancies have been followed of Die Linke to Podemos to Syriza, which are all actually within the framework of this Popular Front policy. So that again is an important strategical question.
I'm going to be speaking about Ireland and the rise of Sinn Féin and the relationship of the Irish left to Sinn Féin and about all the problems that are connected with that, particularly given Sinn Féin's nationalism, especially even more nationalistic now on migrants and its total complicity with US imperialism and capitalism.
Other people speaking, particularly in their fields, is, well, me. I'll be talking about the centrality of health to communism. A communist society would be a healthier one, but the notion of health was sort of central to Marx and Engels' overall project, and in particular, the whole concept of alienation. If one thinks of mental health, mental ill health, it's intimately tied up with Marx's concept of alienation discussed in the Economic Philosophic Manuscripts of 1844.
I'm not actually a member of the CPGB, but I will be addressing Communist University this year about Corbyn and why Corbyn never could have taken power. I think there's two aspects to it, internal reasons as well as external ones, and it is sort of the internal ones that are often ignored on the left, unfortunately. You know, former chair of Labour against the witch hunt, I've seen up front the mistakes that were made by the leadership. And the reason I'm pointing this out again, and lots of other people doing it, is not to bash Corbyn or bash the Labour left, but to learn from our mistakes. Otherwise, we'll keep making them.
I'm going to speak about the Middle East. Moshe Machover will share a platform with an Iranian who is opposed to Iran's Islamic Republic. We have worked together for many years, but it is a rare opportunity to hear the opponents of the two sides of the Cold War in the Middle East, Iran and Israel, speaking about what is going on. In a second session, Moshe Machover will speak about the history of settler colonialism. The media telling us it all started on the 7th of October, 2023. And Moshe Machover will put this in the framework of the history of the occupation of Palestinian land.
I'll be looking at physics and philosophy and why Marxists should care about this. 100 years ago, Louis de Broglie, a French aristocratic physicist, built on the work of Max Planck and Albert Einstein and proposed that it wasn't just light that had this strange characterization of working as both a particle and a wave, but it was all of matter. The revolution in quantum mechanics in the 1920s is still reverberating through technology, through physics, through philosophy, through society. How should Marxists try to understand what this means? What is matter? How do we understand the universe? And what is to come in terms of application of this amazingly interesting science?
Paul DeMarty will lead a discussion on red planets, left-wing science fiction. And Paul DeMarty, as you'll know from reading Weekly Worker, often presents in a lively and interesting style. Ed Griffiths will be leading a discussion on British racism and British nativeness.
Jack Conrad is going to be talking general elections and the Labour Party in circumstances where the left is on the one hand saying, oh, well, this is the end of the idea that the Labour Party is a capitalist workers' party. It's just the second 11 for capital. And another part of the left is still clinging on. Yes, somehow something's going to happen which will save the Labour left. So understanding the Labour Party and the question of elections and general elections is very important for us. The second session, of course, is on climate crisis, very pertinent with the attempt to suppress protest in the form of the public order convictions handed out to Just Stop Oil protesters, but more generally, what do we do about the climate crisis? But equally, how the left needs to be careful not to become simply supporters of any sort of climate action whatever, given that the capitalist states are very likely to introduce statist measures which try and mitigate the climate crisis at the expense of the working class as a class.
Lawrence Parker, who's well known for his blog, will be talking about Joseph Stalin, the father of official communism, the CPGB's British Road to Socialism programme. Lawrence Parker is not a member of the Communist Party of Great Britain, but has played an important part in being a historian of the Communist Party of Great Britain. It's certainly likely to lead to a lively discussion.
I'm also looking forward to Bruno Leibold speaking about his book, Citizen Marx, who's looking at an aspect of Marx's writing that's often been ignored by much of the left, which is the fact that he was fighting for democracy and republicanism and for the working class to win the battle of democracy, to take every aspect of how we are ruled seriously. So that
we have a long-standing relationship with comrades in the United States, the Marxist Unity Group. Parker McQueenie hopefully will be in London to give a talk on the current situation in the United States, the incoming elections, the possibility of a Trump victory.
I should say I add, in terms of I'm looking forward to Cat Rylance on communist futures and the experiment which the comrades have been doing in running an election campaign. It'd be interesting to hear how that's gone. And I'm looking forward to all Thursday sessions. Marcus Strom on the philosophy of physics, Mark Mulholland on the utopian socialists, Thomas Nail on the meaning of materialism and motion. This is going to be, I think, an interesting week.
Having been there in the past, I do find it's really good to be there in person because there's a lot of stuff going on in between the sessions. So you can talk to comrades, you chat in the break, etc. It's just really invigorating politically to be there and to talk to people in real after years of Zoom discussions, which are very useful. But it's really nice to actually talk to people and catch up.
I hope you'll join me in London. I'm traveling all the way from Sydney, so you haven't got any excuse.
Really looking forward to seeing you all at Communist University 2024. It's a hybrid conference, so it will be available on both Zoom and in person, but it would be great to see everybody in person if possible. It's in central London and the web address is below, so you can sign up as soon as possible.